Good day, liberators and fellow citizens of the world. What if I tell you that essentially all legislation in South Africa that has been passed by Parliament the past 31 years, or at least the past 10 years or so, have been illegal? Now, this is not far-fetched. This is not a fairy tale. Because in the Democratic Alliance's Expropriation Act challenge in the Western Cape, taking place in the Western Cape High Court, Cape Town, where Liberty Fighters Network has also applied to intervene as an Amicus Curiae, a friend of the court. So we've got access to the court papers and what is happening behind the curtains. In there, they have basically said that 5 of these provincial legislators have not followed the correct procedures to mandate their delegates at the National Council of Province to vote in a certain way against, or for, in this case, for the Expropriation Act of 2024. Now, the DA, after all these processes have been completed and the President have enacted the Expropriation Act of 2024, and just for the record, he has enacted it, it has not yet come into operation. So the Expropriation Act of 1975, that is totally silent on in public, is still applicable. And wow, as I've indicated in my previous videos, is that not a mess? Compared to the new, more constitutionally aligned Expropriation Act of 2024. But yet, people are attacking the 2024, the new one, only on the basis of the nil compensation clause, but they totally forget to compare it with the current Expropriation Act, where you can also technically expropriate land and property without any compensation. And as I've explained to all of you before in the other videos, that I've been part and parcel of those processes. I know about those processes taking place before. But leave it as it may. In the application, and I'm just going to show you this. Now, this is the court online cover page. This is the application lodged by the Democratic Alliance, and there's the Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure. He's the minister responsible to implement the Expropriation Act, and he's also the one implementing and managing the current Expropriation Act of 1975. People, expropriation is not something new. It has been with us since 1652, when the first European settlers put their feet on the soil of Southern Africa. It has been part of the common law system. A king always had the right to expropriate land that belonged to his people. So it's not something new that happened. This is something that could have happened. And as I've indicated, that people, we can be so happy. All of you who are complaining about the Expropriation Act, we are so happy that the ANC, and I'm not supporting them at all, I don't like them at all, but the ANC, if they are really as bad as the DA and all the other political parties are trying to make them now, if they really were so bad, then they would have taken the Expropriation Act of 1975 and wreaked havoc amongst all white farmers and land. But they did not. They did not do that. They were stupid, or they really didn't want. They're either stupid, not using it, but they have been using it. Go on Safely, go on Courts Online, go everywhere where you can find those court cases. You will find that the Expropriation Act has been in operation and has been used. The 1975 one has been actively used. So now the point is that, what is the issue? Why do I say that all the legislation could be invalid? Because of what the DA has revealed. Now, and besides, the Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure, Mr. Dean McPherson, is from the DA. So he has decided not to oppose this application. He said that he's going to abide by the decision of the court, but yet he has opened up the option for him to actually file a opposing affidavit and to say that why blah 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 blah. So he is actually opposing it, and to oppose a court case does not imply that you have to not agree with the applicant. You are entitled to agree with the applicant if this is the intention of Mr. McPherson. But the fact of the matter is that to oppose a matter gives you the ticket of having an audience in the court. That is the whole thing. So Mr. McPherson, the minister, does not have an audience in the court, yet he is trying to open the gap and say that he will be able to do that. But what the DA has said here is that In their notice of motion, they are complaining that the decisions taken by the Limpopo province, that those are on the 12th of March 2024, Limpopo province, Eastern Cape, Gauteng province, Mpumalanga and the Northern Cape, were invalid. Those are the decisions by the provincial legislatures to mandate the delegates at the National Council of Province. The parliament in South Africa has two components, the National Assembly and then the National Council of Provinces. Together they form the Parliament of South Africa. So, which means that first the legislation must be approved by the provinces via the National Council of Provinces, and then it's then moved over to the National Assembly, and then they are approving it finally based on the fact that it has been approved by the National Council of Provinces. But the National Assembly can also not approve, even though the National Council of Provinces have approved. But the last say lies with the National Assembly. Once they approve it, but they can only approve it once it has been approved by the National Council of Provinces. Now, what the DA is suggesting in their court papers, and that is the basis on attacking the Expropriation Act. So they are saying that those processes have not properly been followed, but they do not say that it was only restricted to the Expropriation Act. They do clearly open the floodgates to suggest that it has been happening with all the legislation that passed through. So, according to their own version, all the legislation with their knowledge, and we are talking about very controversial legislation like the Ballot Act, broad-based black economic empowerment legislation, environmental laws, blah, 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 blah. So the list goes on. So whether you're for or against all of those does not matter at this point. But according to the DA, they have now opened up the gap to say that all our legislation is actually defective. That is crucial. That we as the people of South Africa has entrusted the Democratic Alliance and all the other political parties with governing our country. It's our country, the people's country. Now we have empowered them, but now they are playing games with us. They are playing the games with us to say that, oh, well, the DA just wanted to jump on the bandwagon because AfriForum and Willem Pitzer and all the others have suddenly attacked the Expropriation Act. And none of them know what expropriation actually means and where it comes from. Now, unfortunately, now we see a gap to get more voters to support us, so we are going to challenge the Expropriation Act. And they have now made a total mess, not only for them, but also for all their other allies, the ANC and the Freedom Front and all those cookie cook government of national unity. Yeah, let me just refer to the GNU. So they have actually screwed it up for all of them. Because all of them have been aware of this. Besides, obviously, let's give the benefit of the doubt to the new, big, large political parties, or the larger ones that's now in government. But the fact remains, and if we talk about Action SA, I have revealed before that none other than Herman Mashaba, when he was the executive mayor of Johannesburg, under him, when he was the DA's executive mayor, under him, land has been expropriated under the Expropriation Act of 1975. So it's not something, he's not familiar with, because he had to have known. So you cannot tell the people and now attack, the Expropriation Act is not legal, blah, blah. But the fact is that he used it. Whether he actually knew it, he was supposed to know about it under his control when he was the executive mayor. The point is, what I want to make with all of this is that Liberty Fighters Network has now, we were not part of the plan. We were not part of the script. So we have come in between because I've realized that something is wrong here. And from the very moment when we started to get involved in this court case, it has been revealed that it's not what the DA has told the public. It's not about the fact that they are attacking it based on the nil compensation. They do not mention the nil compensation as a problem for them. They are going after the decision-making process, the processes that's the main thing that they are actually revealing here. And from my perspective, I think it was actually meant as a gun against the head of people like our President Cyril Ramaphosa. They wanted to use this to say, okay, let's make a deal. Otherwise, this will be revealed. So for this can of worms not to be opened, let's sort this out behind or underneath the table. And this is exactly what has been happening, people. irrespective of the fact that Liberty Fighters Network has now become a party to those proceedings by applying as an Amicus Curiae, we are being shut out of all the communication. I have revealed the communication in communication address to all the parties last week that please stop excluding us. And this is a serious matter because, Mr. President, you are supposed to do something about this. You should actually refer this matter directly to the Constitutional Court because of the fact that this has become an international issue. So you must actually take the leadership role and take this entire case. Do not let this go through the procedures. This is urgent. We have to get this to the Constitutional Court as quickly as possible, irrespective of the letter that we have sent. And let me just show you the letter. There's the letter on the 9th of April. Mindy, Shapiro, and Smith, attorneys. Mrs. Elzaan Jonker is the one handling the DA's case. Then we have specifically said that it is deeply concerning how the principal parties appear to trivialize the seriousness of the matter before this court. The primary subject of the litigation, namely the constitutional validity of the Expropriation Act of 2024, pertains to conduct which has had and continues to have a material and adverse impact on the populace of the Republic. This hardship stems inter alia from acts that may be construed as economic sabotage emanating from foreign interference, particularly by the United States of America, resulting in domestic instability. So we have addressed the seriousness of this, but what they've done was that Mindy Shapiro attorneys have sent a letter to all the parties to say, oh, okay, you know what, it's now holiday, so let's give you more time to answer to this, and we'll push this to June this year, and we'll take our time, and we just want you to confirm the timeline that we have suggested now. People, and just for the record, the founding affidavit, this is the founding affidavit by Helen Zille herself. Now, there's the certification, so there's the signature of her. So all of this is being pushed. It has been confirmed under oath by Helen Zille herself. This is a problem. So what Liberty Fighters Network, we will now show them what's going to happen. We are going to now challenge each and every controversial bill and legislation that have been passed at least the past 10 years. We are going to ask them to provide us with records of each and every one of them so that we can ascertain whether they have followed the correct procedures. But according to the DA, this is a general thing. They know about this, but they keep quiet. People, hopefully this will show you that the Democratic Alliance and the GNU, the Government of National Unity, cannot be trusted. They are keeping evidence, they're keeping invalid information from us as the people. The media is assisting them to only report on those issues they think is in accordance with the script that they are entitled to. But unfortunately, yes, people, we are doing this for the people of South Africa. So we do not have benefactors. We do not have an Elon Musk that's now probably funding the AfriForum and the Willem Pizzas or whatever have tried to, when they ran to them, they actually ran to get finance and support in financial terms. We don't have that luxury. We only rely on support by you, our supporters. That's the only way we can address all these court cases that we are part and parcel of. Yes, we do not make use of attorneys, but this is my and people like Herman and Leonard's full-time job. This is what we do. We are assisting you as the citizens to get access to the court, to fight all these invalidities that's occurring and committed by our own government. So we are challenging it because all the others who do have the luxury of benefactors, they are not doing this. So we are pleading to you that please consider voluntary donations of your choice to keep us going, to put bread on our tables, to put a roof over our heads. Because without your support, we cannot do this. We cannot reveal and now again challenge other legislation based on what we have revealed in a court case that we are now part of. So thank you very much. Please share this. And please let us get the support of the community of the people so that we can challenge this further. Thank you very much for our stalwart supporters. I really, really appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you very much for all the support that and the guidance that you also have given us to make this happen, to reveal the truth at the end of the day. Until the next time, Godspeed.
Liberty Fighters Network.
Liberty Fighters Network.